I mean, Paul, there's only really one place to start. I was reading up on this. The first British player to win the European Cup with a non-British side, that was back in the summer of '97. It was actually, though, the summer of '96 where your life changed immeasurably. I mean, it's an incredible story. I want to start there if I can. How does someone from Motherwell, with the greatest of respect, end up playing for the German giants of Borussia Dortmund?
Oh, it was really, really strange, Chris, because we played against them in the UEFA Cup. I think might have been '93, '94 season, might have been. And I remember the draw coming out, and I thought, oh, I don't think we're going to really progress too much in this competition. But to be fair to Motherwell at that time, we had a really good side, but not to the extent of that level. And we played them away from home. And ironically enough, I wasn't going to play because my son hadn't been born yet at that time. And I wanted to be there for the birth of my son, which was more important to me. So he was born actually a little bit earlier. So Alan Peace was the manager, and he was great. Actually, I told him that, listen, my son's going to be born. I'm not going to play anyway. He was great. He said, listen, no problem, understand. And but my son was born on September, so we went over and we I think we trained in the stadium the night before the game, and I remember looking around going, I wonder what this is going to be like tomorrow, you know. And so anyway, we played the game and had a really, really good game. They beat us 1-0, Dortmund at that time, but it was Julio Cesar's first game back from a leg break, and I remember in the tunnel in Dortmund, you know, and I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's very long.
Yeah,
you know, it's a really long tunnel. And we came out and walked down the stairs, and Dortmund were wearing all white strip that night. They're all white strip, a chain strip. And we're in the tunnel, and you know, I just smelled something unbelievable, like aftershave, you know. I went, somebody's smelling unbelievable here. I'm dripping with sweat. I've got Vaseline over my eyes, and you know, and as you are with a Scottish player, I turned round and I swear to God, I looked at this guy and I went, Jesus, the size of him, and it was Julio. And I went, this guy smells unbelievable. A Brazilian guy, you know, and he's doing that, his hair and all that, you know. So me and him laugh about this story now, but this is when I first kind of encountered it. So we played the game and had a good game. Played the second leg and they beat us really comprehensively. They were miles better than us, and never thought nothing of it other than a good experience. Season continues with Motherwell. We have a good season that year as well. I was coming out of contract in season '96.
Yeah.
And that's where it all kind of transpired from, you know.
Yeah, because when you look at what you've achieved, Paul, 17 years of age, you win the Scottish Cup with St Mirren. You move to Motherwell, you're up against Borussia Dortmund in the UEFA Cup. You finish runners-up in the league as Motherwell did, the 94-95 season. I think Hibs finished third, if memory serves me, and Celtic were down in fourth. For a Scottish player, you're doing well. So what was it about you and your personality, Paul, that wanted to further yourself and go on and take on a new adventure, a new challenge?
I think I was getting tired of Scottish football. I think I was getting tired of it. And as you said there, I made my debut when I was 15. And I always thank Alec Miller and Jude Jarvie and Martin Ferguson for being my coaches. They were unbelievable. And I always thank them, and I always would, for what the footing they gave me. And they looked after us really well. And he put me on the bench at Dumbarton at the old Boghead when I was 15. And I played about 2 minutes. It was a friendly game. I actually played my debut when I was 16 against Motherwell, and ironic enough, and we beat them 2-1. I came on and changed the game. And from there on in, I was never out of the team. Alec Miller left to go to Hibs, and then Alex Smith came in. And then I still played and played the games, and I played in the cup final against Dundee United, but I never realised what the cup final was at that age. I just played as if I was on the park with my pals. Just played normal. I just no fear, no nothing. Just play. Little did I realise the significance of the game, and I've got to say, against a right top Dundee United side, they were UEFA Cup finalists at that point. So we beat them 1-0. Never thought nothing of it. It was a winner's medal, great. Put it in the locker. Don't really bother again. And yeah, maybe 10 years later, 9 years later, it's a long time when you're 15 playing in the same country. And at that time I thought, yeah, do I fancy trying abroad? And it wasn't until that phone call when Rob McKinnon at Motherwell, Rob had went to 20 Enschede, and I spoke to Rob and asked him how it was. He said, listen, it's great. And the season hadn't started yet, but he'd already moved. And he said, listen, as a Dutch agent want your number, can you speak to him? And I said, yes, I'm out of contract. And then that's exactly how it happened.
Yeah, Ton van Dalen was, I think he has passed on, bless him.
Yeah.
The soul has torn. But he picks up the phone, you have a little natter with him, you explain, listen, I want to try a new challenge. And to be fair to Ton, now I've come across a few agents in my time, Paul, and an awful lot of them like to talk the talk. Very few walk the walk. Bloody hell, he found you PSV Eindhoven and Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, it was bizarre. But the thing with Ton, he done a lot of work with Aberdeen. I think he might have been a little bit. He knew Alex Smith really well, and I think he brought Hans Hilhouse in that.
Yes.
I could be wrong with that, but I think that connection, the Dutch connection, when Snell does that, a really good side Aberdeen, and Ton phoned me and he spoke away. I'd never met Ton before, you know. I couldn't tell you what he looked like or anything like that. And he asked me, I wanted to play a ball. I said, that'll be great. He said, listen, if you give me 10 days, I'll call you. And I put the phone down thinking, there's no way, I'm in for this guy again, you know. And sure enough, on the 10th day, he called me. He said, what are you doing now? I said, well, I'm just in the house. He said, pack your bag. Can you get a flight to Amsterdam and then get a flight to Enschede? And I says, okay. But Motherwell were going to Northampton on pre-season training. So I phoned Billy Davis and I said, Billy, I'm not coming. I said, I'm going away, but I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to fly to Amsterdam, meeting this agent, and then I'll go for there. I said, just tell Motherwell I'm no feeling well. So, which is probably unfair on Billy at the time, but me and Billy travelled together at Motherwell all the time, so we're quite close. And Billy was getting grilled, I think, by Motherwell. Where is he? And Billy's, I don't know. He's not well. But I get to Amsterdam. I've got maybe about a 40-minute connection wait to get to Enschede, you know. I'm thinking, wonder where I'm going here. I don't know where I'm going. Anyway, I fly to Enschede, and it's the smallest plane I think I've ever been in, man. It was oh dear. It wasn't great, you know. And anyway, I arrive in Enschede, Chris, and I get out of Enschede, and I'm looking, don't know who I'm looking for. And then I see a wee kind of placard with my name, Paul Lambert. And Ton came up and introduced himself. And from there on, I went in the car, got in the car. So I'll tell you where you're going when we're in the car. And sat in the car. And after about his 550th cigarette, he turned around and said to me, I'm going to take you to PSV Eindhoven. And he said, there's two teams, there's Eindhoven and Borussia Dortmund. And I went, oh dear, well, I certainly know the names. I didn't think I was going anywhere like that, that's for sure. As I said before, I thought I was going to go to Azerbaijan or Liechtenstein or Latvia or somewhere like that. I never thought this was going to happen. So I go to Eindhoven, somewhere in Holland. They were at their training camp, and me Dick was the manager. And I met him, but Eindhoven had a really good side at that time.
Yeah.
I think Wim Jong, Philip Koku,
Luke Nillis.
Was there. So they had a right good side. And we played 2 games. I think I stayed on for 5 days. And in the 5 days, there were 2 games. But I played on the right wing. And I scored 2 goals. And I was never a winger. I never the speed. And Dick came up to my room after the 5th day. He said, Paul, listen, he said, I know you're going to Borussia Dortmund on trial. I'm looking for a winger. It's quick. He said, you're a centre midfielder. And I hope it goes well for you at Dortmund. So Tony and I jumped in the car. And we travelled from Holland up to Borussia Dortmund. So we get to the stadium, and then I start to remember the game from what Motherwell had.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah. And there was offices there at this time. And Tony and I got up to the office and meet the general manager, and I call him Mr. Meyer, with respect, because I still know him. And Mr. Meyer and Tony done a deal. I didn't know what the deal was. They were talking total German. I never knew one word of German, never knew anything that was reminiscent of English. They could have been talking whatever language there, I just wouldn't have understood it. So after about 10 minutes, Mr. Ma said, Paul, there's a contract. If you do well here, that's on the table. If not, then good luck. Thanks very much. Now, there was one problem. I've not got any money here. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, Mr. Meyer, I don't have money. I was only meant to be here for so many days. Motherwell don't know I'm here. And he said, okay, he said, I'll give you 200 Deutschmarks at the time. And he said, if you sign, we take it back. And if you don't, thanks very much, good luck, you keep it. So I was like, okay. Anyway, I said, am I going to the training ground? He went, no, the team's in Lübeck. I went, all right. I said, where is that? He said, don't worry, we've got a driver for you. And there's a guy called Walter Mass. And Walter, and I still have a laugh to him this day as well. Walter was about 3'6" with a top hat on, you know. And I saw this guy coming, you know, and he went, Paul, hardly any English, and I've got no German. Ton leaves me then. That's the last I've actually seen Ton. He leaves me, finished. So I jump in this car, big Mercedes, and Walter starts to drive it, and I'm trying to make conversation, you know, just small talk really here. And because I don't know German at the time, I says, point to my watch sort of thing, how long were you driving, you know? And he went like that to me. I went, 40 minutes. He went, no. 4 hours. 4 hours. I went, 4 hours? He went, don't worry, I do it 2.5. And I swear to God, this guy just went, woof, right down the Autobahn. I swear to God, that was a white knuckle ride. I was holding on to the handle, you know, and this big Mercedes is, this guy's tiny, you know. So we get to Lübeck, and all I see is thousands and thousands of yellow black shirts. He said, we go to the airport, the team's flying into the airport. And I see next time I see a plane coming in, and the more I get to the airport, there's a mass of yellow and black fans with the colours. He said, don't worry, he said, we go on the tarmac, and we meet everybody there. And the car drives on the tarmac, and Otmar and Michael Henke come off the bus, and he said, I'll introduce you to the coach and the assistant coach. And I went up, he said, good luck, Paul, welcome to Dortmund, good luck. He said, just go on the bus. And I went on the team bus, and I started to sit next to players, you know, and he said, no, you can't sit here, this seat's taken. Sat next seat, you can't sit here, this seat's taken. He said, this went on for about 3 or 4 seats. And I thought, no, this is getting embarrassing. So Stefan Kloss, believe it or not, Stefan, he shouted to me, he said, more or less, this one's free for you. If you want to come here, we can sit here. So, and that became my seat when I obviously signed. So we played 2 games. We played against Lübeck for 45 minutes, and I played against Hamburg for 45 minutes. And it was like a mini tournament. And I played centre of the pitch, centre midfield. And Stefan Freund had hurt his knee in Euro 96 at that point.
Yeah.
So Dortmund were looking for maybe somebody kind of similar like that. And Paulo Sousa just signed for Juve for 7 million Deutschmarks at that time. But Paulo wasn't there. He was up in Dortmund. He was recovering from a knee injury. So I played the games, and I played against Lübeck and Hamburg. And after the second game, Stefan Reuter and Otmar were talking. And at the corner of my eye, I just turned down, and I saw Stefan say, he's done well, sort of thing. So I thought, I must have done all right. So we get back to Dortmund. We train 1 or 2 days. This time, Motherwell were gone mad where I am. They still
Do they know? Do they know at this point?
No, they didn't know. And because Billy never said anything. Billy wasn't saying anything, you know. Charles telling him, no, hold your water now, don't say anything, you know. And we play. Otmar asked me to stay on. There's 4-team tournament in the Fuji Cup at the time. It was ourselves, Bayern, Schalke, and Mönchengladbach. And we were playing Schalke in the semi-final, and Bayern were playing Gladbach. It was the 4 top teams of the league previous year. So we lost to Schalke, and I never knew what to expect. There was about 30,000 there, you know, because it was a neutral little ground. Season hadn't started, didn't know the gist of it. Oh dear. But I remember Andy Muller scoring a goal, and he went by Jens Lehmann as if he wasn't there. It was the quickest thing I've seen with a football on his feet, you know. And this guy's lightning. And he scores. We lose 3-1 and we played Gladbach in the third and fourth playoff, and we beat them 2-0, whatever it was. And then on Saturday the season was starting. So we fly back to Dortmund, and Riedler, Sammer, Cesar, Kohler, they never travelled to Lübeck. They had extra time, I think, because of Euro 96. But Andy and Stefan played, and we fly back to, we go back to Dortmund, and then Michael Henke pulled me on the Thursday before the Leverkusen game. He said, listen, we know the contract's been agreed, we would love you to stay. Would you stay? And that was it. I went, stay, you know, I'm there. But never did I think I was going to play. So I made my mind up to say, okay, if I'm not going to play many games, I'm going to learn.
When you say there, Paul, that you didn't think you'd ever play, what was it then? In training, did you feel that you were a million miles off the pace? What, were you saying there you never thought you played? Is that just due to the names they had more than anything else?
I hadn't trained with them, so fully, really, because I just played the games. So when I looked at the dressing room and I saw guys that had won World Cups, Serie A's, Bundesliga titles, I'm coming from Motherwell. Am I going to play many games? Realistically, probably not at that time. So, and they just signed Pablo for 7 million. So I thought, well, do you know what? See if I don't play, I might get some games, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and learn. So I'd written everything down with the train, everything we'd eaten and what was said and things like that, you know. So I'd done all that, but the ironic thing was I signed on the Thursday and the Leverkusen was a Saturday. And Otmar said to me on the Friday, Paul, if Pablo's knee's all right, he'll play and you'll go on the bench. So I went, okay, well, that's good going, come from Motherwell to on the bench. But ironically, Pablo's knee never held up. So Omar said, you're going to play. Anyway, I played against a guy called Zidane. Was it Zidane? What's his name?
Balakov?
No. Brazilian lad, number 10.
Oh, Paulo Sergio.
That's it. So played against Paulo Sergio. Brazilian number 10, and the guy was dynamic. I went, oh, this guy's coming from everywhere. This game's quick. So he scores and he runs off on me because I don't see him. Anyway, we were losing 2-0, and I scored just before half time. I play a 1-2 with Shappy, and then I get in and I score. But I get to half time, and I says to Andy Muller, I said, Andy, what's right, what's left, what's man on, what's time? I don't understand what's coming here. The stadium's full, it's bouncing, it's rocking, it's electric. He went, listen, here's some little words for you. We're playing Fortuna Dusseldorf on a Tuesday night, and Otmar again came to me on the Sunday. He said, listen, Paul, I was happy how you played, really good. He said, but if Paolo's knee is all right for Tuesday, he'll play. I went, okay, no problem. Anyway, Paolo's knee, he doesn't make it, but he's fit enough to go on the bench that night. And we play, and I had the game in my life, really. The ball goes where it wants to go. I think I made 2 goals, and the balls get held up. And I look over and I see Carl Riedler and Paulo Sousa coming on. And I thought, well, that must be me. Motherwell, it cost nothing. I'm going to, he maybe thinks I've done well. And I started to walk a little bit. And I looked up and I thought, well, that's not my numbers here. And at that point, that's when the penny dropped. I thought, I ain't coming to this team again. I'm not doing it. And then I became one of them. And that's how it happened.
It's an incredible story, Paul. There's so many different questions, etc. Find it interesting there. You say to Andy Muller, you say, Andy, listen, I need to get German terminology here.
Yeah.
I find that interesting because I always think of Otmar Hitzfeld as being a manager who leaves nothing to chance. Give us an insight into what Otmar was like. He clearly had a lot of faith in me. As a manager, was he man management? Was he standoff? Was he a whistle round the neck? What kind of manager was he?
Really calm. Really, really calm. Never to deal with all the big players. You've got to have something about yourself. the way he was, how calm he was, never argued, never came in ranting, raving, all those sort of things. Just knew how to manage people. And he was the one that would dictate training, what he wanted to happen. Him and the co-trainer, Michael Henke, was a good guy, were really good together. And they were with each other for years and years. They went to Bayern together. And so, but Otmar was very clever and knew how to manage players as well. But you've got to remember, because he was dealing with every player was an international. Every player had won things, massive titles. And he had the same at Bayern. And again, that the success was really, really high. So Otmar was clever. And I went to see him when he was manager of Switzerland. Just before, I think it was the 2010 World Cup, and he let me on his team bus going to training, and so I wanted to ask him some questions, how he found that management, and I said, how did you handle a defeat? He said, not that you lost too many games, but how did you do it? And he said, analyse it for 24 hours, let it go and move on, because if you don't, it's going to hurt you, it will hurt the team, it will hurt the club. He said, 24 hours, let it go. And it was the best bit of advice I'd ever got. But he was a really clever, calming man, and made, like any top manager, probably made the big decisions right.
And in fairness, he put his faith in you early on, and full credit to him for that. What about the players, Paul? The vision that I get, or certainly the image that I get of Germans, is that they're very stoic. It's the old cliches that they're not the funniest bunch in the world, as the old generalization. In terms of you winning their respect, your Kohler, your Sammers, your Andy Mullers, was there a game or a moment in particular, Paul, where you thought, I've got these boys believe in me here, I belong here?
That came really quickly, that came really quickly, and I think it would have been after the Dusseldorf game where I knew I became one of them, and I was really well liked in the dressing room, I always had a laugh with the guys, and I always knew when I'm on the pitch that I would have had their back. And it's funny, I was in a bit of text with Andy Muller the other night there, and just having a laugh. And Andy and I used to play head tennis down the stairs in the basement, and it became ultra competitive, and I was winding him up saying that I beat you at head tennis and all that sort of thing. And he said, I only let you win because I didn't want you to go back to Scotland, And I went, nah. I said, listen, it's funny, Andy, I done an interview the other day and they asked me who was the best player I played with, and I said, yourself. But he put up a goal on the chat, and I said, is that your third goal against Leverkusen? He went, yeah. But under it, in the biggest compliment, he wrote, he said, without you having my back, I would be eternally grateful. And I thought, my God, that's a great compliment. And that was just the other night there. But so I gained the respect really, really quickly because I integrated with them and I had a laugh. But they knew on the pitch and on the training that I was all or nothing, really,
The Paul Lambert that arrived in Germany, I still shake my head in disbelief that you put your faith in an agent who you've got no clue who he is. The missus and the wee one left in Scotland.
Yeah.
You've gone there, you've taken a chance. Fast forward 12 months, you've now got one of the best managers in world football believing in you. We'll get to the Champions League final because, of course, it is 23 years to the day. We'll get to that in a second. But your transformation, the Paul Lambert that arrived in Germany to the Paul Lambert that left as a footballer, Paul, what was the biggest improvement? What areas did you feel, my goodness, I've improved immeasurably here?
Oh, you felt invincible. That's the belief I had, or the self-confidence I had was top. I never feared anything. Didn't matter who I was playing against or what I was up against. I knew that I'd done it at the highest level, and that was the big thing. So any company I went into, I played in the World 11 game over in Turkey after the World Cup in '98. Dunga, Stojkovic. I'd done everything. I'd done it, and so it catapulted you into I could handle anything. That's what it done.
The calmness then, is that a consequence then, Paul, of just playing with incredible world-class players week in, week out, or is it something to do with the culture on the day-to-day, walking into Dortmund training, What do you put it down to? That ability now that I'm calm every time I step over the white line, I am in control of my emotions and nothing is fazing me. What does that come down to?
I think the lifestyle over there, and the discipline over there, and the respect they have for their workplace. I mean, it was absolutely spotless. It was from the laundry girls to the Manny who made the coffee in the morning. Everything was spotless, you know. Everything was so clean. The way the boots get cleaned, your clothes in the morning, your training clothes, everything became really structured. Everything was so high at the highest order. Really, the drinks machine was spotless. There was never any cups lying around. It was so much respect there for the place, and I think that stood me in incredible good stead of this is where I want to play. This is what I want to do football, you know.
And that UEFA Champions League campaign, Paul, was there ever a feeling we're going to do this? You know, I was talking to Peter Schmeichel quite recently saying in that treble winning season, was there a match where for Man United, you all looked at one another and thought, we're going to do this? Was there ever that with Dortmund? Was there any one moment in that season where collectively you all boys went, tell you what, we've got a real chance here?
I knew for any team to beat us would have to have been an unbelievable side. Didn't matter who it was, because the players you've just mentioned there had been at the top and been at the high, and the dressing was full of it. It was full of it. Not one guy wasn't an international. The game I thought we were going to do something here was Auxerre away when Lars scored the winner 1-0 I think over there, and I remember saying to Carl Riedler, I think we're going to win the Bundesliga here, and we're going to win the Champions League. He went, do you think? I said, I feel it. Not something, we're going to get something this year without a doubt because we're too good. And that's where I felt. The Auxerre game was the one I actually thought, nah, this is a proper side, this. And
then, of course, in that semi-finals, you take on Man United. For some reason, Paul, it's not so much your performance, but your performance the final. It was Jurgen Kohler's performance that won widespread praise. It was a throwback. He was just everywhere. He read the game so well. Your memories of those two legs against United?
The first leg, a lot of your lads were missing.
That's right.
With a lot of injuries. And Otmar put one or two guys who played in the middle of the pitch to defence, and Man United came over. I never really get caught into the euphoria of what was happening in Britain because my life was in Germany, so I wouldn't have heard people saying, oh, Man United are going to win, or Man United this, Man United that, a great team. I didn't pay any attention to that, you know. And I remember Martin Ferguson phoning me up the morning of the game, and Martin said, Paul, can I come and see you at training? I said, well, yeah, listen, I'll ask Otmar if you're allowed in. So Martin thought, I asked Otmar, I said, Otmar, my old training manager when I was younger, he'd like to watch training. He said, that's no problem, Paul. He said, because in the morning of the game, we only played a 5v2 rondo, you know, or a box. And it's a bit of pass, and that's a structure. That's all it was, just to get your legs going in the morning of the game. And Martin came over, and he said he went back to Sir Alex Ferguson that day, and Alex Ferguson said to him, what do you think? He went, well, I'll tell you what. He said, they've never done anything training. The Portuguese team were beaten in the last round, the 4-0 game, Porto. He said, you're in for a tougher game here because they're bang at it. And that's the way we trained. And the level was all the time, bang, 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 all the time. And it was never eased. It was relentless, won at all costs. And we trained that way. And the Man United game for me was, we play Man United, it's no problem. Let's see what happens. What I did know was, if Dortmund scored and then they could see, the lads were so confident because they knew they could score away from home. And if we scored away from home, we knew it would finish because they had to score 3. And the funny thing about Jurgen, that night you're talking about at Old Trafford, Jurgen never flew until the morning of the game over. He had a family issue, I think, back home in Dortmund, and he flew over the morning of the game. And you're 100% right what you're saying. He was absolutely colossal. Colossal. But he's the best, without a doubt, he's the best centre-back, man marker I've ever played with. And it's funny, I was talking to Alan McCoist about this. I was talking to Coisty today, and Coisty said to me, he said, the exact same about him. He's never played anything like it against him. If the ball went by him, the guy never, and vice versa. It was that good. I mean, him and Mateus and Julio, and even Martin Creve and Martin, obviously he subsidised for Julio. It was unbelievable. It was an unbelievable backline. And Jurgen, oh dear, what a centre half he was.
Yeah, he was old school, Jurgen. I'll always remember that. If he did get caught, you're absolutely right. If he did get caught on the half turn, he was just take the man out, move her on.
Oh, honestly, Chris, he was. I've never seen anything like it, and I've still not seen anything like it. He was absolutely, oh, what a centre half he was. To have him at your back, incredible.
Well, that's 2 clean sheets. People forget that. A 1-0 at the Vestry Stadion, 1-0 at Old Trafford. I think at that point you've played 9 games that European season. You've kept 5 clean sheets. You're then coming in, and let's fast forward, because it is 23 years to the very day. And you did say just off air before we hit record, Paul, that it's crept up on you. You can't even believe 22 years to the very day.
No, and then somebody sent a picture of me and my son on the pitch that night after the game, and he was only 2 or 3 at that age, and I sent him the picture on, and he went, "Oh my God, that's went by in a flash." And he's 26, so you think, my God Almighty, so it has. And he's only a toddler in my arms at that time with the medal and all the celebrations things, and he remembers it. That day, that's one of his earliest memories.
Well, what's your abiding memory? Because again, I go back to Peter, and Peter kind of ringing in my ears, Peter Schmeichel, and he was very candid, Paul. He said, honestly, Chris, I do not remember the game, the night. He says, my memories of United completing the treble is through fans telling me stories, is through, having retold the story so much. He can't really remember that night. What's your abiding memory of that night back in '97?
I'm pretty much similar. I can't remember. I've never watched the game back fully. I saw little highlights and the goals and things like that, but I've never actually sat and watched the game fully. One of the biggest memories I have is there's a couple there, but it doesn't really relate to the game. When we left the team hotel, and we're all smart with the suits and things like that, and Manny, who done our coffee and the tea, he's standing outside the bus and he's having a cigarette, and he went, "How you feeling, Paul?" And I went, "Manny, I'm good, no problem. I'm ready for this." I went, "How are you?" And he went, I'm nervous. And Manny just made the tea and the coffee for us, and as soon as he said that, I thought, oh my God, he's feeling it, But when the bus drives to the stadium, the bus parked in the corner flag area in the Olympic Stadium, and the players come off under the tunnel and walked on the track side and then into the dressing room at Olympic Stadium. And I remember just walking out the bus, and I could hear an almighty noise, it was just unbelievable. As soon as I got out there, our bus parked at the Dortmund end, and all I could see was it was virtually full before you even got to the stadium. It was yellow, black, and then as soon as I walked around the corner, I saw the black and white, the Juve fans, and the noise was deafening. And the Champions League choir were rehearsing on the pitch, and the noise was incredible. It was just and the flags and the colours, the Dortmund crowd with the colours. It was just a massive black and yellow, and I thought, oh wow. But the actual game, there's no too many real things that I really remember, other than the night before we trained there. And Norma said, if you have a chance, Paul, look for the diagonal pass, because we don't think they're as strong at the back area. And that was how the first goal kind of led through. So the actual, probably Peter Schmeichel's right in a way of, I have to get my memory by these sort of things when people ask me about it, then it starts to come back,
Tell me this, Paul. I read somewhere, and again, I could be wrong on this, I read somewhere you saying there wasn't actually a game plan for you to man-mark Zizou. You just took that upon yourself. Is that accurate? Is that true?
No, what when I played in the Bundesliga, so for example, I played against Thomas Hassler or Mehmet Shaw or Stefan Effenberg, Pantic at Atletico Madrid or Hadji at Galatasaray. I was always made aware of them where they were going. And as soon as he had the ball, then I've obviously had to be there. So Otmar said in the morning of the game, be careful where he goes, Zidane, because when we attack, he'll start to drift into places that when they start to counter, he'll be really good. So the kick-off started, myself and Paolo switched right away, and I took him. So every time, you've probably seen the game, what I can memorise is, I'll be more in his vicinity than not, because I knew that I had to match him. He would make runs. I mean, the ball could be on the right side, he'd make a run on the left side. I wouldn't take myself to the right side because I knew he would be drifting.
Yeah.
So you had to kind of stay with him. But his elegance with his feet, Chris, was incredible. He could go right, he could go left. He dragged it, he put it through his legs. You really had to stay on your feet with him. There were times when he did get away from me, but predominantly I had to stop him for doing what he does. But that was my role. Basically, all the great number 10s I played against, Rivaldo, Brazil, that was my role, was to try and nullify all that and read the game and protect everybody.
It is worth just reminding anyone watching this that Juve were the top dogs in Europe at that time. They were European champions in '96, final in '97, and a lot of people, it's the forgotten final in a lot of ways. They were the finalists in '98 as well. Yeah. They lost to Real Madrid. I think Pedro Mijatovic, who got the winner in that one. That week leading into the final, Paul, Otmar Hitzfeld, and it does sound like I'm a bit of a broken record. I'm always coming back to Otmar because he's someone that fascinates me. Whenever I watch interviews, he's always speaking in German. So it's very difficult for me to get an understanding of him. That week leading into the final, Paul, what you're working on in training, you've said there, you've always got to be mindful of Zizou. But in terms of what he's working on, tactically how you're going to win the game against the best team in Europe, was it a real clinic? There's no stone left unturned.
We knew, the great thing about it, the way we played, was everybody knew we played 3-4-1-2. That's the way we played. We never changed. Didn't matter who we were playing. We never changed the way we played. It was always that system we played. And the great thing about the system was if somebody was injured, one would come in and just automatically do the role. So you always had that continuity. Yeah. So if, for example, if Carla or Sharpie wasn't fit, maybe Heiko Herrlich could play. Heiko would have done a great job for us. If Andy wasn't fit, Lars Ricken would play in the role. If Paolo wasn't fit, Michael Zorc came in and played a hell of a lot of games on his, and Zorc was brilliant to play with as well. So there was always that kind of same dynamic. Rennie Treshaw was excellent for us as well. So if Julie wasn't fit, Martin Cree would play. Jörg Heinig wasn't fit, Knut Reinhardt would play. It was just like a game of chess, really.
Yeah.
So we knew the roles, we knew everything about it. You've got to remember when you're dealing with that caliber player, the intake of the top players is really, it's like that. Okay, I know what I'm doing here. You never really have to tell 2 or 3 times. It was always, do this, Paul. Okay, no problem. Do this. It was never a problem. It was instinct of, this is where we're playing. We know how Juve are going to play. We analysed them on the week and what system we were going to play. The personnel was what it was. So you knew predominantly how they were going to play. So we were ready for them.
You mentioned at the start of this conversation, Paul, that Julio Cesar's cologne, that was what stuck. That's what stayed with you in '94. There's another little tale, and again, I ask you if this is true that I read. You might not be aware of this. Angelo Di Livio actually played a part in firing you boys up in that tunnel, didn't he?
It is. We came out of the tunnel, and I looked at I saw his hand, the back of his hand, and it was like 3-1 in his hand. I went, I don't know what that is. And I said to Paolo, Paolo, he said, yeah. He said he always that was one of the kind of ritual things, I think, that he done before the games and all that, we score predictions. And I went, all right, okay. Lucky enough, we had the 3-1, but you're right, you're saying you're up against world-class players at that time.
Oh, there's no doubt. That Juventus team as well, Paul, incredible. Yeah. I also read, and you can tell I've done my research, you don't know where the Champions League medal is. Is it still missing?
No, I didn't for years and years, and because I never ever bothered with things like that. And people always say to me about medals, and I always tell me, I say, your best medal is your memory, because nobody can ever take that away. And I thought, well, do I really need to show anything on go or anything? Not really. You could went into my house and you thought you could be into, I don't know, another occupation or something. I never really had anything up. So I never had it on show, and I never knew what it was. And I actually put it under the insulation in the loft. So I did.
Typical Scott, right?
I know. And that's what I done with it. And then I started to bring some stuff out. And maybe now I look back on it, but it's no something my memory is the greatest thing, you know.
You see all the modern day player, Paul, they've all got in their big medals, they've all got the strips of players they've played against. I take it from listening to your answer there about your memory. Did you swap shirts? Do you remember who you swapped shirts with?
I never that game. I never. I've got countless jerseys, as you could probably imagine, and it's only lately I've started to maybe take an interest again of who I played against, and okay, maybe I'm going to frame that shirt. The one that I did put together. So I have one Champions League one frame.
You've got it.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah, so I wouldn't change that. And the one, do you know? I've very rarely been up to people to say, "Do you want to change?" I never done it. I never was one of the guys. Going back to the German thing, I wasn't like a young boy going, "This is my idol, I want your top," you know.
Yeah.
And we played Bayern Munich one day in the Olympic Stadium, and it was a fabulous game. The pitch was incredible, and the ball was bouncing, you know. And I was running, but I could hear somebody coming behind me. I didn't know who it was. And the way I've turned my body, I thought, well, the only way I can get out of this here is if I can try and double back myself and go back. So I went back the way, but next thing the scissors came in like that, you know, and I fell flat on my face like that, and lifted me off the ground. It was Lothar Matthäus. It was his tackle. He lifted me off the ground, and he got a free kick and that. And then after the game, he came up and went, "There you go, there's my shirt," and we changed shirts after the game, and that's the one I've got framed beside that my Dortmund one, Bundesliga one, but I've also got the Champions League one framed. So, but I was never one to really go and say, "Okay, do you want to change?" Okay, I have nice shirts of Hadji, Rivaldo's, and guys like that, but that's because I've been directly against them. Well, we changed, but the Champions League final one, I didn't want to change.
You're old school in that regard, Paul, and I appreciate that. I really do. I love that, and it kind of leads nicely on, because I believe it was a good few years later, I was reading that you popped over to Real Madrid to spend a bit of time with Paul Clement, who was the assistant to Carlo Ancelotti, and Zizou came bounding over.
He did, and it was really, really strange, because Carlo Ancelotti was incredible, and Paul was brilliant, and we were in the office, and Zinedine Zidane came in, and I think he was taking the younger group at that time, but he must have been asking Carlo or Paul something about training, and Paul went, "Hey, this is Paul Lambert here, the Borussia Dortmund," and he went right away. He went, "Oh no!" So he knew right away, and that game, I'm convinced that game hurt them massively, because since then I met Antonio Conte the same, and Antonio. Wolves played Chelsea. I met him when we played, and he was injured at that game, Antonio, and he even said it, unbelievable. So I think that hurt Juve that game. Without a doubt, I think it massively put a dent in them. But Zinedine Zidane was like, couldn't believe it, and we shook each other's hand and had a laugh about it.
Sir Alex Ferguson, I don't think you're not going to get an argument from me. Arguably the best manager that I've ever seen. Hitzfeld that night against Marcello Lippi. Two of the greats, Italian and German. I guess the greatest compliment, Paul, that could have been given to you, Juve picked up the phone to Dortmund that summer after that European Cup final and asked about you, did they?
Yeah, I was in the car, and an agent on behalf of the club asked would have been interested in coming, and cause I think Didier Deschamps was leaving that summer, or
Chelsea, summer of, I think, did he join Chelsea summer of '97 or '98? One of those summers anyway.
Yeah, and I said, "Thanks very much, but no, I'm happy." I'm really happy in Dortmund. I don't need to. I was with the European champions. I didn't have to look elsewhere. The crowd loved us. I loved the club. I loved the city. I loved the people of Dortmund. I loved living there. There was no reason for me to leave. I was way the biggest club in my eyes in European football there. You know, I didn't have to move.
And that November, things change. Obviously, 4 or 5 months change. You joined Celtic. I still think it was a steal, £2 million. I mean, was that just personal circumstances that took you back to Scotland, Paul?
Yeah, because my son wasn't keeping too good. Thankfully, he's good now, and we made a decision. I went to other European countries after the game, and Celtic kept on asking me, and I kept on saying no to come back, because I said the same answer as Juve. I was happy in Dortmund. I didn't need anything else, and my son kept on not feeling good. So we thought, okay, let's go back. The pressure's going to be huge with the 10 in a row. We were up against a really top Rangers side at that time. Gaza, Laudrup, Gorham, Goff, McCoy, the really top Rangers side, and Vim had put a team within a year, really. But the good thing about it, a lot of the lads were Scottish internationals. So Craig, Jackie, Simon, Boydie, Phil O'Donnell, God rest them. They were littered with international players. So I knew I was joining a good team. Whether the squad was going to be strong enough, nobody knew. I knew I was joining a really good side. And the first couple of months I couldn't kick my backside. I was terrible. And
why was that, Paul? Was that you hankering a bit? Were you missing Dortmund?
Yeah, 100%, because the emotion of the last game in Dortmund, what they done for me against Parma, with the flags and the crying, everybody crying in the stadium, nobody would leave the stadium till I went out and gave them a wave, and I stood in front of the suits, or the yellow walls you call it now, and I could see people crying. I was like, oh my, and flags and that don't go, and all these sort of things. And went back to my car that night, and there was thousands of people in my car with banners and all that, and just crying. I was like, oh, gee, this is emotional, this, you know. And a lot of that was with me for the first couple of months, and I thought, what have I done here? This is no right what I've done here. And but the bigger picture, my son's health was more important than everything else. And then all of a sudden, it started to click. And then all of a sudden, that went the way it did as well.
I'm conscious of time, Paul. You're a busy boy. I want to just speed through a lot of questions from my friends and a lot of people who listen to us sending their questions in. I want to fast forward, if I can, to 2003, that UEFA Cup final in Seville. You're captain of Celtic against Jose Mourinho at Porto. Compare and contrast that for me, from a young man in Germany walking out the Olympic Stadion in the Champions League final to 2003. The emotions, the differing emotions. Were you confident in 2003? Did you feel that you boys were going to go and win it with Celtic? Give us the difference in kind of mindsets, if you can.
Same mindset. We're going to win it. I think that the Celtic team was unbelievably strong, and it was littered with great players as well. And the only thing I felt about Seville was the stadium wasn't big enough for their support. I didn't think it was a good stadium. The grass was terrible. The field wasn't good condition. It had just been relayed. It was very dry, and I just thought this stadium ain't big enough for us. Whoever looked at that must have seen Celtic get 60,000 every week. How can you say only 20,000, 25,000 Celtic fans are going to get in this stadium? It didn't even make sense. But I always felt we could win it. That they were up against a really good side. They would only win the Champions League the year after.
Yeah.
So, but we were so close to it, really. But I've said it before. When you play in a final, you have to bring your A game to the table. We just fell short, but I'll tell you what a really good side we were.
Yeah, when you look back, Paul, and all that you achieved, when you think, you know, the best team I played with, the best year of my career, is there always that year in Dortmund?
That's the pinnacle. Yeah, playing in the World Cup was an incredible thing. I mean, if you said to me 20 odd years later we're still not qualified, or hang on a minute, what's been wrong. And to play against Brazil, no, if you can't win the World Cup, play against them and open it, you know. And that's the World Cup against Brazil was unbelievably high. The players, Ronaldo, Cafu, Carlos, Rivaldo, Alda, they were all there. Everybody was there, and they just beat us. And when I look back at my career now, I think, my God, it's been so many highs there, yeah.
It's incredible, Paul. It really is. And again, as a wee nipper in the northeast of Scotland, you were genuinely an inspiration for me and my mates. There's a guy stepping out of your comfort zone, going to Germany, and in one season winning the European Cup. I've followed your career very closely since. Certainly your managerial career from Livy to Wickham to Colchester. And then I've had numerous messages in. We've got to get to this. I know you're now in charge of Ipswich, but my goodness, I think back-to-back promotions. When was it? 09-10, 10-11. Is that right? 09-10, 10-11 with Norwich. Yeah. You go from League One to the Premier League. You play in 3 leagues in the space of 2 years. Yeah. The success you had, Paul, if you could bottle it, what did you do? And again, you'd be a billionaire if you could bloody bottle that. But what was it about that time and the success?
The simple answer to that is good players. That's the game becomes easier when you've got good players, and I've been fortunate. I've worked with some brilliant guys, and even if you go back to Colchester and all these sort of guys like David Fox and Mark Tierney, 2 unbelievable guys, great guys who never became obviously massive household names, but for me they were a massive part to where I went with their teams, and Wes Houlihan, people like that. At the times with Christian Benteke, all great guys. The guys at Ipswich I love working with right now on this day. They're young. There's 1 or 2 experienced guys who are good guys. And I can never sit back and go, do you know what? I never enjoyed that period there or that period. All the guys, Snoddy at Livingston, obviously at West Ham now, and Snoddy when he was a kid at Livingston. I've loved it. Absolutely loved. I've not got any. Okay, sometimes you have little problems with guys, but never anything over the top. All the guys that I've played has been great.
Have you had a chance to analyse though, and momentum? It's that buzzword we use, but you go from League One into the Championship. You just continue on that little wave, blink and you're in the bloody Premier League. I mean, when you look back on it now, Paul, you said good players, but have you had time to really reflect on 1 or 2 decisions you made and how you just carried that kind of through?
You know, when you asked me about the reminisce about the Champions League, or can I remember much about it? And I said, no, only remember it if somebody will say to me. It's the same with my jail career. I very rarely remember what really happens. I just think the lads are the ones that done it all. They're the ones that played the games. They were the ones that had the momentum. All we done was kind of give them a wee tickle, and they went. And the rest, they done a great job. I think you get a hell of a lot of joy when you're a manager, and I'm not just talking about a Saturday, Monday to Fridays. You have a lot of fun with it, and guys are good. You get some problems Monday to Friday. Not everybody's the same, but it's a challenging task. But I can only thank all the players that's played under me for what they've given us. You know. You
stepped out your comfort zone as a player, Paul, to move to Germany, and you came up smelling of roses. In your management career, Paul, the older you get, do you continue to strive to improve yourself? Do you go and take a look at what's happening? I know Julian Nagelsmann at RB Leipzig. I know a couple of my mates have gone over there and spent a bit of time with him to see what he's doing. Do you continue to learn and take bits from other coaches?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, when I left Aston Villa, I'd went to Leipzig when Ralph Hasenhüttl was there. I went to Barcelona when Pep was at Barcelona. I went to Bayern when Pep was at Bayern. I went to Dortmund when Jurgen was at Dortmund. I went to Real Madrid with Carlo. I went to Bochum. I went to Dusseldorf. So I done the rounds in Europe, and they wanted to see. I went to Leverkusen with Roger Schmidt when Roger was at Leverkusen.
Yeah, Roger, he's kind of fallen off. He's fallen off the face of the earth a little bit, Roger. He was the flavour for a while.
I think he went to China, and I went there, I met Rudi Voller as well, met Rudi, talking to him. I met Karl-Heinz Rummenigge at Bayern. Dortmund, I have my connection there. I go back and watch that. I've stood in the yellow wall watching games in Dortmund and things like that. So you always learn. You always learn.
And in terms, final one from me, Paul, in terms of that year in Dortmund, and listen, by the way, this is the envy of many, because I've actually got that shirt from that year. It's the envy of many. There's many a people bid for this shirt. It's not
unbelievable, yeah.
It's an absolute belter. It's different to the one you wore that night. When you look at that shirt and you think back to that year and all the players that you played with, your abiding memory, the memory of that year, Paul, and I guess the aspect of it that makes you the most proud.
I would say signing for the club.
Taking the risk.
For them giving me an opportunity to say, okay, here's the contract, the rest is up to you. And for me going, okay, I'll take the fight. I'll take yeah, what you said there, take the risk. Would many people do that risk now? I'm not so sure.
No. And please tell me, Billy Davies has forgiven you for making him lie, and his Big X forgiven you as well?
They have. We had laughs with it, you know, but there's no way. I think Alec knew there's no way. Was it Dortmund or Motherwell? It was like from here to Dubai distance, you know, you couldn't put a price on it. But I was going there to learn, but my God, I made some great pals and we have the Walk of Fame star on the streets and things like that, which is incredible, you know.
Yeah, well, listen, Jamie Vardy's been given an awful lot of airtime in the last few years, and rightly so, non-league to winning the league with Leicester City. For me, though, Paul, your story still trumps that. Motherwell, with the greatest of respects to Motherwell, a free transfer, you take a risk, you win the bloody European Cup. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's mad, but it gave me the... Do you know, I always knew I was a good player without being big-headed, but that put me into the big thing, you know.
Well, incredible, Paul. And listen, before I go, how is the family? How is Ipswich? How's the club? COVID-19 has allowed us to catch up finally. But how are you coping with it all?
I think you're just in the mode now, aren't you? You're just in the mode. It's just, as everybody says, it's Groundhog Day.
Aye. But
the life's the most important thing, and hopefully we'll get an answer soon. What's going to happen football-wise? But I still don't see crowds coming back until they find a vaccine. Quite rightly so, because everybody's health is more important. But we're just getting by with what you guys are probably doing as well. Just try to get through every day, you know.
Are you guys training or no?
No, we're not. No, we still can't do nothing until we find out. We can't until they give you a start date, because you can't have a training date. So your start date could be September the 6th, say. So why do you want to train in May, June? It doesn't make sense. So until we get a start date for the games, when can we go back to training? But it's not just for us, but for the younger guys, you know, the younger guys, because the game's changed, the mentality of people's changed. It's the young guys as well, how they're coping with it.
Yeah, I was going to say on that, and I promise I will let you go. I always do this. Final one. But is it testing you as a manager, all this? Because as you say, you can't physically put an arm around anyone. You've got young players who, like anyone, young families. I know I've had my sleepless nights, and I appreciate I'm far better off than an awful lot of people, and I'm aware of that. But how has that tested you as a manager?
I think it's new, this, for everybody. It'll be new for yourself, new for me. I'm just looking forward to seeing the guys again, really. Not just as football, but as people. We see how that is as people, not just like football. Okay, they're a footballer, but they're human beings, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Is probably seeing them as guys. That's for me the most important thing.
Well, listen, Paul Lambert, it's been an absolute pleasure. You have been on my hit list for a bloody long time, so you have. Great to finally have tracked you down. And again, listening to you regale the tales of going to Germany, taking a risk with Ton van Dalen, a Dutch agent you'd never met, to marking Zinedine Zidane out the game, to then pitching up at Celtic, success at Norwich, and now doing work at Ipswich Town. Paul, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been a great hour for me. It's been a real privilege and an honour to have this little chat with you.
Brilliant. No, I enjoyed it. Really good.